I would now like to welcome Dr. Andrew Goffey, Associate Professor of Critical Theory and Cultural Studies, to tell us more about how arts research at the University of Nottingham. Welcome, Andrew. So, my first question to you would be, what does it mean to undertake a master's in research degree in the arts, and where does this lead to?
A Master's in Research is a one-year research degree that enables a student to undertake a very substantial piece of independently devised research. The student will come up with a research topic of their own. They will be assigned a couple of supervisors who will help them develop the ideas for their research. They will spend the year planning and developing the research, conducting the research, and then organising the time that they will need to write up that research at the end. So it culminates in a lengthy dissertation. Students undertake MRes projects for a number of reasons. Typically they'll do it because they want to go into academic research, so they may want to do a PhD, and in fact undertaking an MRes takes a year off a PhD because the 1 year of MRes study can count towards a PhD. But they don't only do it because they want to do PhDs. Others will do it because they're just really interested in research. They've got an itch that they need to scratch. They've done research as an undergraduate and they've found that it's stimulated their interest and they want to explore further. Others will undertake an MRes because they want to enhance their skills and hone their research abilities, maybe for work in a company afterwards. The scope for what you can do in MRes is very, very broad. It is a research topic that you devise yourself. I've supervised topics in a number of areas. I've recently supervised to completion an MRes which looked at race in the National Basketball Association in the United States. I supervised a project that looked at climate change and mythology. And I'm currently supervising an MRes on artificial intelligence and the history of automation. I mean, it's true that a lot of MRes students do an MRes because they want to go into research, academic research, and an MRes will enable them to do that. In fact, the MRes itself can count towards a PhD, so it effectively takes a year off a PhD study. But not every student does it because they want to become an academic researcher. I've had a student that went into marketing as a result and was interested in developing his project management and research skills. I have another researcher who ended up developing material because he wrote his own comics and wanted to explore ideas for his comics. But more generally, a student would do it because they're interested in maybe going into policy analysis, working in cultural organisations, or developing research for large-scale organisations.
Interesting. And I think you talk some interesting things about independent research. So given that an MRes has a large component of independent research, so what assistance is there for the students? Can you comment on that?
Yeah, so I mean, nobody does research in a bubble, and MRes students are no different to anybody else in that respect. You are an independent researcher when you do an MRes, so you are largely working under your own steam, but every MRes student will be assigned 2 supervisors. They will have regular meetings with those supervisors, and the supervisor will help them develop ideas for their project, to plan it out, to advise them on things that it might be good to do, things that perhaps it's not so good to do. They will also provide advice on kind of research methodologies that they might need to explore, or training that they might need to undertake. And obviously, we allocate supervisors on the basis of their expertise. We have a great deal of research expertise in the Faculty of Arts at Nottingham, and we try to match MRes students with that expertise as best we can. So they benefit from support from supervisors. But they also work in an environment with other researchers, so they'll be encouraged to collaborate with PhD students and other MRes students. We have a number of research centres, so I'm actually the director of a centre for critical theory and cultural studies, and MRes students are invited to join us in our research events in the Research Centre. There are a number of other centres across the faculty as well. They will work, they can join PhD students for work in progress sessions, so they get the opportunity to present their work and talk about it to others, so they gain very valuable feedback. And of course there are all the facilities that the university offers, the library facilities. If you were doing an MRes in music, for example, you would benefit from some of the special technology that the Department of Music has, for example. So although you're doing research by yourself for the course of the MRes, you're not doing it alone. You're doing it in conjunction with a couple of experts, but in that context of a great deal more expertise and knowledge.
I think you have given us some great perspective into studying an MRes at the University of Nottingham. Thank you so much, Andrew. And I hope you enjoyed having this conversation today.
Yeah,